awaited list of ministerial nominees. It is better late than never far for the country. 2 days before the deadline for the submission of the names as stipulated by the Constitution, the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, read the list consisting of 28 nominees. Prominent names of people who made the list are the immediate past governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, his counterpart from Kaduna State, Nasser El-Rufai, Ebonyi State, David Omahi, and Jigawa State, Abubakar Badaru. Others include prominent people earlier announced as special advisors, including Dele Alaki, Wali Edun, and Anatu Musawa. Let's share the moments with you.
For confirmation, the underlisted 28 ministerial nominees. 1. Abubakar Momo. 2. Ambassador Yusuf Maitama Chuka, CON. 3. Architect Ahmad Dangiwa. 4. Barrister Hanatu Musawa. 5. Chief Uche Naji. 6. Dr. Beta Edu. 7. Dr. Doris Anite Uzoka. 8. His Excellency David Omahi. 9. His Excellency Ezenwa Nyesom Wike. 10. His Excellency Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, CON. 11. His Excellency Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai. 12. Right Honorable Ekperikpe Ekpo. 13. Honorable Nkiru Onyechioja. 14. Honorable Olubumi Tunji Ojo. 15. Honorable Stella Okotete. 16. Honorable Uju Kennedy Ohaneye. 17. Mr. Bello Muhammad Goronyo. 18. Mr. Dele Alake. 19. Mr. Latif Fagbemi, SAN. 20. Mr. Muhammad Idris. 21. Mr. Olawale Edu. 22. Mr. Wahid Adebayo Adelabo. 23. Mrs. Iman Suleiman Ibrahim. 24. Professor Ali Pate. 25. Professor Joseph Utsev. 26. Senator Abubakar Kyari. 27. Senator John Eno. 28. Senator Sani Abubakar Danladi. While noting that the above list is not exhaustive and that additional nominations will be sent in due course, I hope that the aforementioned nominees will receive the expeditious consideration and confirmation of the Senate.
Thank you for staying with us. Now we have the list, Babajide. And before I saw this list today, and after the Senate President announced 28 names, I just imagine how difficult it's going to be to assemble these men. A lot of people said, after 60 days, you can't give us ministers. And I said, oh, there's so many things, so many factors.
So many interests.
So you put into control. This list, I'm sure that the list that you had maybe day before yesterday might be different from what you had in some states.
No, there's a lot of surprises. For example, I wasn't expecting the president to pick 2 ministers designated from Katsina State.
Yeah. So that will tell us that.
I was thinking, Kano gave him, during the presidential election, he got more votes in Kano. Yeah. These places, and he must have felt, let me do something, because Kano is very strategic and all that. You have to please people. But Katsina got two ministers.
What is that telling us? If Katsina got 2 ministers and you can confirm that Cross River 2
got 2.
So we might end up with a 42-man cabinet.
Of course, that's what will happen, because
not 36.
Look, if you say, okay, you want to do 36, and you imagine that there are so many people who work their socks off to make you win the election, how do you ensure that you please a greater number of your foot soldiers, people who work for you? It is true, these ministerial appointments. And what Asiwaju has done, many people will say, oh, he brought in so many ministers, so many politicians. But if you look at those ministers, former governors, these are people who have value. You look at...
okay, let's start.
You look at... I'm just trying to say that, look, you can't look at El-Rufai, for example, and say he's a core politician. It's not... El-Rufai is not a politician because he does everything that a politician should not do. How many politicians, for example, would demolish the home of his political leader? Tell me, your political leader, because the highest ranking party person in your party, in your state, is your political leader, whether you like it or not. He demolished the home of the deputy national chairman for Northwest. People may have forgotten now because even that person is dead now. So, but if the steps that it takes, a politician would rather pull back because we're thinking of the next election. So, and you look at someone like Umahi, for example. Umahi is an engineer. The kind of work that he did in Ebonyi State, you want to give it to him, that the president probably saw that quality in him. That, with this kind of...
construction
he's
sites.
not just a politician, he's also somebody with an eye for developmental projects. Yeah. You may not like him, they may say he's arrogant, he's full of himself, but the truth is, the work that he has done are there in Ebonyi standing. So the president he has found a way, even the core politicians that he has brought in are people who have value, people that he knows can add value into his government.
All right, we have we are going to make it in part. We are going to do it in part. So I think we have Senator Abubakar Sani Danladi. Abubakar Sani Danladi. Jude, you want to start telling us?
Yes.
Abubakar Sani Danladi.
Abubakar Sani Danladi was deputy to Dambaba Suntai.
That's in Taraba State.
Taraba State, the late former governor of Suntai, of Taraba. He was his deputy. He was impeached, but the Supreme Court in 2014 overruled that impeachment, and he came back to continue.
So this is UTC?
No, not UTC.
Okay.
UTC is the person that was chased away for him to come back.
Okay.
You know, he was removed illegally.
Okay.
When he was removed illegally, the UTC was now
brought in,
recruited to take his place.
Okay.
So the case went on. Supreme Court gave him a favorable verdict. UTC, who was acting governor because Sontai was incapacitated.
yeah,
UTC was sacked, and this person
came in.
over. In fact, someone told me that UTC, you know, even the cars that brought him were taken off his buttocks. The new governor inherited, you know. So the Supreme Court restored him to that position. So he's a man, and he's been working for the APC since he joined the party. He's been a very strong force in that state. He's been a very strong force in that state. So from Karim Lamido local government, where I used to be local government chairman. So Asiwaju knows him very well. He knows him very well, and he's used this opportunity. And he made efforts to be governor. He didn't succeed. On a number of occasions, he didn't succeed. But now, Asiwaju, you know, when he came back, when the Supreme Court gave it to him, he refused to contest, to keep that position. You know, to show that, look, I'm not
desperate.
Once he served that time, because he wasn't expecting that Supreme Court would say, look, I was unlawfully removed as deputy governor. And with the governor incapacitated, he took his place. Some other people will have used the opportunity to contest.
Yeah.
Yes.
By the House of Assembly and all that. But immediately he served that term. He finished serving that term. It was just a very short period before the 2015 election. He didn't recontest. But in the APC, he contested and contested, but he didn't
Get the ticket.
he didn't win. So in a way, he has been rewarded for his loyalty to APC since he joined them.
Somebody very strategic and very key to the emergence of Bola Tinubu as the president, because since 1999, that particular state has never produced a winner from the All Progressive Congress, or since 2015, when for the opposition, it has always been a PDP state since 1999. Barrister Nyesom Wike.
Well, we have seen where the ball has gone to now. Because before the election, there were agitations, or there were issues of whether they should expel him from his party, or for anti-party activities and all that. For him, personally, I think it's a good reward for him. But whether that is the best thing to be done is another matter entirely. Because for me, if Wike, he had been a minister of state before he became a governor, he will.
It's a state of education.
One will have thought that you have played a role. Must it be you that will be that minister? You should have nominated somebody else. I don't think he did very well as governor of Rivers State. No problem.
Exceptionally well.
No problem with that. But my problem with it now is that must we continue to recycle all these people? For instance, Umahi should have been left in the retirement chamber.
We get there.
Jide, should have been left in the
I want you
retirement
to
chamber.
the options left for Wike before that election. You had the option of following Peter Obi, mending fences with Atiku Abubakar, or to follow Bola Tinubu. And it took, in all the G5 governors, him and Seyi Makinde, they said, look, this is where we are going to.
I think he said, he has said it on a number of occasions. When we interviewed him, he told us after the interview that, look, I'm not going to support a person that has made up his mind to deal decisively with me. He said it.
That's Atiku Abubakar.
Yes, over lunch in his house, he said it. And then, later on, he said it publicly. So he was convinced that one of the first things Atiku would do if he became president was to deal with him. So he made up his mind. As for Obi, he knew Obi cannot win the election. Obi will do well in some states, but he will not win the election. And he was not prepared to take the risk of supporting a person not likely to win. Because if you did that and Atiku eventually won, what he feared would then happen to him. Yeah. Because he claimed that Atiku actually promised that, let me get there, you see what I'll do to him, I'll teach him a lesson. You know, in politics, when people hear such things, they are not fools. They begin to work to make sure that that plan does not come to fruition. And Asiwaju knows that he's a politician who has capacity. You can say whatever you like about him. The truth, no politician is perfect.
No human being
is.
But
when you identify a politician who has value, politicians come into office already thinking of the next election. People don't understand these things.
So it's okay to sit down and postulate, the same set of people say, no. They don't know that it's...
But is it also fair? Let us even say it. Is it also fair? Do the Americans not also bring back people who have served? It is in America that somebody will spend 59 years in the Senate.
The contest.
59 years is still there. Nobody will complain that they are recycling them. In Nigeria, once a senator has done like 1 or 2 terms, we are already thinking of chasing him away, no matter how brilliant he is.
Yeah, because their level of performance here is different.
No, even some of the best senators who did well for their... You see, once you are not on the good books of your governor, he will make sure that he removes you. Even if you are good and the governor is interested in your own seat, if you are from the same constituency, he will take you away. So for me, I don't think Wike is someone that, and I'm thinking that, look, when you look at his performance, those bridges, those roads, go to Aba Port Harcourt Road, for example. I told Uche, I said, is this Aba Port Harcourt Road? Because it used to be full of bedlam. But Asiwaju would also be thinking, well, he's a politician, but he has a good track record in terms of infrastructure. So he will be imagining where he can put him. He can either put him in works or even Niger Delta, because we need a lot of projects to come up in the NDDC and the rest of them. So,
no, but one positive word I have about him is that he stood his ground that the presidency must come to the South. And whether that was one of the reasons why he went against Atiku. So on that note, and gauging the 2 candidates, he wagered his way and saw that, well, this one is likely to win, and he supported him. So
let's talk about Senator Dave Umahi. Dave Umahi was the governor of Ebonyi State for 8 years.
You see, I'm not Dave Umahi's fan. I have no reason to be, but I'm a fair person. I went to his state. I was invited to the inaugural flight, to come and witness the inaugural flight. I was on that Air Peace flight. And anytime I go to a place, I don't need you to take me. I want to see the work by myself, spending my own money, bringing in people who assisted me with my own money, not collecting money from Umahi. I went round, I saw the work that he did. And I did those stories. Umahi cannot say he gave me 1 naira. Or any of his staff will not say that he gave me 1 naira. And I spent my money, I did the work, showed Nigerians the work that he has done. Because we need to set examples, let people know that, look, when you work for the people, you can't be forgotten. Umahi, in my view, built the most beautiful public university in this country. Currently, you need to go and see the...
serve food there. Yeah? People are living here too.
Yes, yes. People are living their own states to go and school there. They are living their own...
I'm sure my producer can just look for the visuals.
And then look at the most beautiful airport in Nigeria today is in Ebonyi. It's not... You can abuse him, oh, he likes too much colors and all that. I'm not flippant. You have to give the man credit. He did exceedingly well. Let's leave politics out of it. Let's leave whatever he is, because people abuse him, he's arrogant, he's full of himself. It doesn't matter. His work speaks for him. And I think that Asiwaju again made a good choice, because if you see people who have a record of solid achievements, and they are politicians.
Ebonyi used to be a backward state.
Oh,
Yes.
I served in Northern Anambra
It's
State.
overhead
I served in
bridges.
Ebonyi State.
I
We
know.
used to go
It's
to
Abakaliki,
Enugu to go and
Ayo.
play.
Yeah.
Overhead bridges are the most beautiful in this country today.
I've never
And I saw them. You know? So, and you want, this is, look at, you know, this is the airport. This
colorful.
is the airport. You need to see the university.
And it kept
Now
working.
it's been handed over to the federal government. You know, it's not a University of Medical Sciences. You need to see it. So, Asiwaju may have chosen him, yes, you will say he's a politician, but he's also
Our
a
international
mix.
airport is not as
It's
fine.
a mix between a politician and a technocrat.
technocrat.
Because if you are an engineer and you can deliver solid infrastructure like this as a politician, that means, in my view, you are even more of a technocrat than a politician. So, again, I believe that it was the right choice. Let's see how far, depending on the ministry that he gets, let's see how far he can do.
And
at
being
federal level.
a loyal party man.
Yeah, well, in that state, he's a very loyal party man. But I still think that he has done well, I agree. But he should have just remained in the retirement home, and somebody else should have come in.
As
Why
minister.
should he retire? He
They-
just
that-
clocked 60 years.
Oh, hey, but he,
on the
I mean,
25th of this month.
the
Is that
Senate
not
is
too
their
early?
retirement home.
No,
That's what I
no,
meant.
it's not. You see, that
If
is
you just
another
sit down
mistake.
there-
There's no such thing as the Senate being retirement home.
No,
In fact,
that's
they
where
do
all
more
of them
work.
go
No, they
and-
go, but they are working there. When you are in the Senate, you are
well-
working at the level of those committees and all that. So that's not retirement. Retirement is to just go to your house and be lounging, playing with your grandchildren.
But we see what most
They are
of them
working.
do in that Senate. And
Americans don't retire at 60 years now. How old is he wants to contest for second term?
yes,
Biden.
Biden.
Joe Biden.
yes.
How old is Biden?
Biden is always falling down now.
Somebody who just clocked 60. Omar just clocked 60 a couple of days back. We're already saying he should retire.
All right. And Wale Edu.
Oh.
Are you
Should I
surprised?
call him Chief?
Are you surprised?
But it's simply Mr. I think
Very simple man.
it's a very, very concise choice. Out of all the names that I've seen there, himself, Mr. Wale Edun, I see as a very quiet achiever. When he was commissioner here in Lagos, we all know what he did.
Financial engineering.
Exactly. And I believe that is coming back here again at the federal level, we help Asiwaju to re-engineer what the success that was recorded in Lagos. Yes, Nigeria is more complex, but if you have succeeded in a place like Lagos, there is that possibility or that thing that you are really going to succeed at a greater level. So his choice, and you know, he has been, since he left government, he has been doing some things quietly. Presently, is the chairman of the board of the Nation newspaper and all that. And, you know, for him, I think the president has himself, Dele Alake, and Adelabu, who was deputy governor in Central Bank. All those three, somehow, I think we have a solid team with the others, with what they are going to bring to the table.
Time is fast spent.
That's to tell us that Asiwaju wants to really do well in terms of the economy. There's no way you bring in all of these people into your team, including the man, the essay on revenue generation. Now, the former aide of Ajimobi. There's no way that you won't do well. Because he's got for himself some of the brightest around. And Wale Edun, you know, I said before that these SA positions are transitional.
Yeah.
That is what has happened. Dele Alake's position is transitional. He's going to become minister. Wale Edun now, his position as SA, transitional, is going to become
A minister.
because they are among the best that the man can find. But Dele Alake has been used to him all along. He's one of the people
They are
who understand Asiwaju so much. And you know, Lagos had the first ministry of strategy.
Information
down
and strategy.
to Dele Alake. Yes. In the past, what we used to have was information.
Yeah.
Dele Alake was critical to adding the strategy element to it, borrowing from the Americans. Just the same way that Asiwaju brought chief of staff. You know, it's the Americans. Chief of staff is not known to our constitution.
Yeah.
But today, everybody is having chief
of staff.
And a surprise, the one that we're not talking about now is that we didn't talk about before now, Lateef Fagbemi SAN.
Yes, I think that the person that Asiwaju wanted initially, something happened, and then Lateef Fagbemi, who is actually the APC lawyer, you know, heading the APC team, you know, Asiwaju's lawyer is Lateef Fagbemi is APC's lawyer, you know, the presidential.
Yeah.
So Asiwaju then settled for someone from Kwara. What I heard before was that his choice was initially from Oyo. This thing has been very tough for this man to do. Remove this, bring this one back. Remove this. It can be really tough for anyone.
No, that is the real strategy.
You have to be strategic. At the end of the day, you don't turn your best, your loyalists against you. You know? So this is the thing. Daily, there is nothing that we need to say about it.
No, everybody knows.
Everyone knows. And I'm sure when the screening time comes, people will see the stuff.
They will have a feel.
Yesterday was still here, you know, addressing the press about the need to support this government. I'm sure you need someone like that around him, someone who can tell him the truth, you know, who is used to him, who is very familiar with his methods. And I'm happy that.
Okay, Anatu Musawa.
Oh, Anatu Musawa is a lawyer, writer, you know, a columnist for many years for some newspapers in our country. I studied abroad. Asiwaju used her during the campaigns, and Asiwaju has found her very, very valuable.
Energetic.
I suspect that in terms of the re-engineering of the ministries that Asiwaju wants to do, Anatu will end up, you know, taking charge of tourism, you know, because people, including me, have suggested that, look, we need to bifurcate the Ministry of Information and Culture. There is so much potential in tourism that we are not tapping.
Yes.
And even our culture. So perhaps Asiwaju was thinking along that line, just the same way we've been told that even the Petroleum Ministry, because of the tremendous potential of gas, the Petroleum Ministry, Asiwaju could be thinking of splitting it into two.
Okay.
I think that's what will eventually happen with this. Do
you know anything about Professor Joseph Utsef?
And Professor Joseph Utsef is the current rector of the Federal Polytechnic, Wanune, in Benue State.
Benue.
He is a professor of engineering.
Okay.
So I guess that he must have been strongly recommended by the SGF.
Better I do.
That means
beautiful woman.
We have a very strong team there.
Better too, you know, during the campaigns, he was always around the president. The president must have been
from Cross River.
Yes.
Okay.
He was woman leader of APC.
Of the APC.
So, she's the current woman leader.
Member of National
and she's a physician by profession. So Asiwaju has a choice now, either to either give her health or Minister of Women Affairs. But
no.
Ali Pate, what class physician?
Yeah.
Ali Pate, I guess, he was he was a Minister of State before he left.
Yes, we're going to continue this review tomorrow. We're going to continue tomorrow. Our time is fast spent. Dr. Olaika Igbule, thank you for your contribution. Papa Jide Kodede Otitoju, thank you for your contribution. We'll continue our review of the ministers. We'll still have 18 more to go. 18 more. Tomorrow we'll continue this review. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. Join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Osuba.